The small town had been gripped by fear for as long as anyone could remember. At nightfall, people rushed to lock their doors and shutter their windows, afraid of what might be lurking outside. Rumor had it that strange creatures appeared after dark, but no one knew exactly what prowled in the shadows. Those who had glimpsed them even once would never speak of it clearly, only whispering about small, twisted beings they called gremlins. Mike, a skeptic and regular at the local bar, didn't buy into any of the stories or warnings. Late one night, he left the bar, staggering a bit but with a smirk on his face. He had barely stepped onto the empty street when he heard a strange, scraping sound behind him, like claws scratching along the pavement. He stopped and turned, seeing nothing but deserted streets and rows of dark houses. Shrugging, he walked on, but the noise came again, louder and closer. Now, he quickened his pace, feeling a chill creep up his spine. The scraping behind him turned into a faint, sinister laughter, digging into his nerves. Glancing over his shoulder, he froze in terror. A small shadow flickered between the trash bins, something inhuman. Mike took a few steps back, realizing the shadows were slowly moving toward him, as if they sensed his fear. Pulling out his phone, he tried to call someone, anyone, but there was no signal. Then, he heard them approaching, not in a rush, but at an eerie, patient pace, almost savoring his panic. From the darkness, the creatures emerged, hunched and gray-skinned, with long claws and eyes glowing green in the dark. They bared sharp teeth in a twisted grin, and Mike felt a wave of terror rise within him. The gremlins started to surround him, moving fast and sly, like predators closing in on prey. There were so many, dozens, maybe more. One of them lunged forward, its claws sinking into his arm. Mike cried out, trying to shake it off, but it only dug deeper, tearing into his skin. He flung it off, but others were on him in an instant, claws and teeth ripping at his body, leaving deep gashes. His scream cut through the night, but nobody came to help. Every door remained shut, every window tightly sealed. Mike knew that no one would come, that everyone in town understood one rule. If you hear a scream calling to you, don't look back. Run the other way if you want to survive. His body was growing numb as the gremlins dragged him down a narrow alley, whispering to each other in their strange, unsettling language. They pulled him into the darkness, and the last thing Mike saw was their fiery eyes reflecting the pale light of the moon. BY morning. The only trace of him was a torn jacket and a trail of drag marks leading deep into the woods. The town remained haunted by fear, and no one dared to find out what happened to the one who had dared to walk out into the night.